Florence Scovel Shinn discovered why 95% of prayers go unanswered, and the revelation is shocking. It's not about insufficient faith, or flawed prayer techniques, or undeservingness. The true culprit is a hidden law, a secret most remain oblivious to. This law dictates whether your prayers are answered instantly, partially, or completely dismissed by the universe. In 1926, Florence worked with a client who'd prayed daily for 5 years for the same thing, healing from a health condition. Nothing happened. Doctors offered no solutions, and the condition worsened. Florence identified that this woman consistently violated the hidden law of effective prayer. Within 2 weeks, using the correct method, this woman not only found the right treatment, but achieved complete healing. But before revealing this specific law, you need to understand why most people's prayers actually block the results they desire. The first problem: people pray from a place of lack, not gratitude. When you pray, "Please give me money because I'm broke," the universe primarily hears, "I'm broke." You're reinforcing the very situation you want to change. The second issue: people pray with despair, not confidence. Despair is a vibration of fear. It repels what you most want to attract. It's like trying to attract butterflies by screaming and gesticulating frantically. Third, people pray for specific things, instead of praying for the feelings those things would bring. Florence discovered the universe responds to emotional states, not specific objects. But the deepest problem Florence identified: most people pray passively. They make a request, then expect magic to happen without active participation. The hidden law Florence uncovered: effective prayers create alignment between what you ask for and who you are. Ineffective prayers create a contradiction between your desires and your behavior. Let me give you a specific example. If you pray for financial abundance but spend your day complaining about bills, talking about how hard money is to come by, and treating every expense as a painful loss, you're contradicting your prayer through your behavior. The universe can't give you abundance while you're vibrating at the frequency of scarcity. It's like asking for water while turning off all the faucets in your house. Florence developed a specific method she called participatory prayer. Instead of simply asking and waiting, you pray in a way that completely aligns your energy with what you're asking for. This method has 5 essential components. First, pray with anticipatory gratitude. Instead of asking as if you lack, you thank as if you've already received. Thank you for the abundance flowing into my life now. Instead of, "Please give me money." Second, pray for feelings, not objects. Instead of, "I want a better job," you pray, "Thank you for feeling useful, valued, and thriving through my work." The universe then finds the specific way to create those feelings. Third, pray with emotional specificity, but material flexibility. Be specific about how you want to feel, but completely open about how it will manifest in practice. Fourth, pray as if you're a partner with the universe, not a beggar asking for favors. I'm ready to collaborate with the opportunities the universe is preparing. Instead of, "Please save me from this situation." Fifth, follow intuitive guidance that appears after prayer. The universe answers prayers through ideas, opportunities, and synchronicities. If you ignore this guidance, you're interrupting the response process. Let me share a specific case that proved to Florence the effectiveness of this method. The woman who'd prayed for 5 years for healing was named Eleanor. She had a lung condition doctors considered chronic and progressive. Eleanor prayed daily. "Please, God, cure me of this terrible disease." Florence immediately identified several problems in this prayer. Eleanor was defining her condition as terrible, reinforcing a vibration of fear and aversion. She was praying like a helpless victim, asking for external salvation, and she was requesting cure as something distant and improbable. Florence taught Eleanor to pray differently. "Thank you for the perfect vitality manifesting in my body now. I feel gratitude for the energy, strength, and free breath flowing through me. I'm aligned with the divine intelligence governing all my body's functions in perfect harmony." The difference is radical. Instead of reinforcing the disease, Eleanor was vibrating at the frequency of perfect health. Instead of positioning herself as a victim, she aligned herself with natural healing intelligence. But Florence added something crucial. Eleanor should pray this way only if she could genuinely feel the gratitude and vitality while praying. If she merely repeated the words mechanically, it would be useless. Eleanor needed to practice for a few days to genuinely feel the energy of perfect health during prayer. When she could, something extraordinary began to happen. First, Eleanor started receiving intuitive guidance about changes she should make in her diet, exercise, and environment. Things she knew she should do, but had never considered before. Second, Eleanor started finding information about her condition in unexpected places. Casual conversations, articles that appeared at the right time, recommendations from people who seemed to appear out of nowhere. Third, Eleanor was connected through an improbable sequence of events with a specialist who had developed an innovative approach to her specific condition. In 6 weeks, Eleanor was completely healed. But the most interesting thing is that she told Florence, "I wasn't just cured. I became a person who naturally has vibrant health." Florence observed that when prayers are answered through the participatory method, you don't just receive what you asked for. You become the kind of person who naturally attracts and maintains what you desired. The hidden law works because it aligns who you are with what you want. And when that alignment exists, the universe has no choice but to manifest corresponding results. Let me share a second case demonstrating how this method works for financial matters. In 1928, a man named Richard sought Florence in a desperate financial situation. He owned a small shop, teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. 3 months behind on rent, and he couldn't see a way out. Richard prayed every night. "Please, God, help me save my business. Don't let me lose everything I've built." Florence Scovel Shinn identified that Richard was praying from a place of fear of loss, not from confidence in abundance. His prayer was actually reinforcing the very scenarios he most dreaded. Florence taught Richard to pray participatorily. "Thank you for the prosperity flowing through my business right now. I feel gratitude for the right clients, the perfect opportunities, and the abundance that serves everyone involved. I am aligned with the universal intelligence that orchestrates thriving businesses." But Florence added specific elements for business-related prayers. Richard should visualize his business functioning perfectly. Satisfied customers, products that genuinely helped people, a healthy financial flow, not as fantasy, but as genuine gratitude for a reality that was already manifesting. Richard should also be attentive to intuitive guidance about improvements he could make, partnerships he should consider, or strategic shifts he felt he should implement. In the first week of applying the method, Richard received several intuitive insights, reorganizing the store layout, focusing on specific products he'd neglected, and contacting a supplier he'd lost touch with months ago. Following this guidance, Richard discovered that the supplier was looking for someone exactly in his situation to test a new product line. The deal they struck not only saved Richard's business, but transformed it into the most profitable in the region. Richard later told Florence, "I didn't just save my business. I became a businessman who naturally creates prosperity." Florence documented that participatory prayers always produce permanent internal transformations, not just temporary external solutions. But Florence discovered that there are specific obstacles that can prevent even participatory prayers from working. The first obstacle is inconsistency. If you pray with gratitude in the morning, but complain about the situation all day, you're canceling the effect of the prayer. Florence emphasized that participatory prayer requires consistent alignment. The second obstacle is impatience. When you pray participatorily, you're initiating a process of reality reorganization. This process sometimes takes time to manifest visibly. Impatience interrupts the process. The third obstacle is resistance to intuitive guidance. Many people pray for solutions, but when they receive guidance on actions they should take, they resist because the actions don't make logical sense. The fourth obstacle is fear of success. Paradoxically, some people have an unconscious fear that their prayers will be answered because it would completely change their lives. This fear sabotages the process. Florence developed specific techniques to overcome each of these obstacles. For inconsistency, create reminders throughout the day to return to the vibration of gratitude whenever you notice yourself complaining or worrying. For impatience, focus on the process of becoming the kind of person who naturally has what you want, instead of focusing only on the external outcome. For resistance to guidance, develop confidence that genuine guidance always benefits everyone involved, even when it doesn't seem logical initially. For fear of success, recognize that you deserve to have your prayers answered, and that your prosperity contributes to the general good. It doesn't harm anyone. Florence also discovered that different types of situations require specific adaptations of the participatory prayer method. For relationships, thank you for the true love manifesting in my life. I feel gratitude for the genuine connection, mutual understanding, and shared growth flowing through my relationships. For health, thank you for the perfect vitality governing every cell of my body. I feel gratitude for the energy, strength, and harmony expressing themselves through my physical form. For life purpose, thank you for the clarity of my true path. I feel gratitude for the opportunities to serve, grow, and contribute uniquely to the world. For family problems, thank you for the harmony and understanding settling into my family. I feel gratitude for the love, mutual respect, and clear communication flowing between us. Each adaptation maintains the same principles. Anticipatory gratitude. Focus on feelings instead of specific objects, and alignment between prayer and daily behavior. Florence observed that people who mastered participatory prayer developed a specific quality. They became conscious co-creators of their reality, instead of victims waiting for external salvation. The difference is fundamental. Victims pray for something external to change so they can feel better. Co-creators pray by aligning themselves with universal intelligence to consciously manifest harmonious realities. When you pray as a co-creator, you're not asking the universe for favors. You're collaborating with the natural laws that govern the manifestation of reality. Florence always emphasized that the universe is not an external entity that may or may not decide to answer your prayers. It's the creative intelligence of which you are a part, and which operates through you when you consciously align with its principles. The hidden law that Florence revealed is, your prayers are always answered to the extent that you align with the energy of what you are asking for. There is no unanswered prayer. There are only people who cannot sustain the necessary alignment. When you pray with genuine gratitude, act with confidence, follow intuitive guidance, and maintain the vibration of what you desire, the universe has no choice but to manifest corresponding results. Florence left this powerful legacy. You don't need to convince the universe to answer your prayers. You just need to align yourself with the energy of what you desire and allow it to manifest through you. And when you truly understand and apply this hidden law, you discover that prayers are not desperate pleas to an external force. They are conscious declarations of intent to collaborate with the infinite creative intelligence that is already operating through you. The law is available. The method has been tested. The results have been documented for almost a century. The only question that remains is, are you ready to pray as a co-creator of your reality instead of a beggar waiting for favors? But let me be even more specific about how to apply this hidden law in practice. Because knowing the theory isn't enough. You need to master the art of participatory prayer. Florence Scovel Shinn developed a detailed protocol she used with all her clients. This protocol transforms ineffective prayers into powerful tools of conscious co-creation. The protocol has 9 specific steps, and each is crucial to activating the hidden law of prayer. Step 1. Purification of intention. Before praying, you must honestly examine why you want what you're asking for. If the motivation stems from fear, lack, or a desire to control others, the prayer will be blocked. Florence taught that effective prayers always come from a motivation of love. Love for yourself, for life, for the people you can serve, or for the growth experience the outcome will bring. Eleanor, the woman with lung problems, discovered that part of her motivation to be healed was to prove to her family that she wasn't weak. This ego-based motivation was blocking her healing. When Eleanor shifted her intention to, I want to be healed so I can better serve and fully enjoy life, the energy of the prayer completely transformed. Step 2. Complete emotional alignment. You can't pray for abundance while feeling poor, or pray for love while feeling rejected. Emotional alignment is fundamental. Florence developed a specific technique. Before praying, spend a few minutes genuinely cultivating the feeling of what you want. If you want prosperity, remember times when you felt prosperous. If you want love, connect with the feeling of being loved. Richard, the bankrupt businessman, spent 2 weeks practicing feeling prosperous before he even started praying for prosperity. He revisited memories of when that his business was thriving and cultivated the feeling of confidence and abundance. Only when he could sustain this feeling for at least 5 consecutive minutes did Florence guide him to begin participatory prayers. Step 3. Language of anticipated gratitude. The way you construct the words of the prayer is crucial. Florence discovered specific formulas that activate the hidden law of prayer more effectively. Instead of, please give me, use, thank you for. Instead of, I need, use, I am grateful for. Instead of, I hope that, use, I celebrate. But it's not just about changing words. You must genuinely feel the gratitude as you speak. If the words are right, but the feeling is absent, the prayer doesn't work. Step 4. Specificity of feeling. Flexibility of form. Be extremely specific about how you want to feel. but completely open about how it will manifest. For example, thank you for feeling valued, useful, and thriving through my work. Instead of, please give me a promotion at Company X to position Y with salary Z, the universe has access to infinite possibilities for creating the feelings you desire. When you over-specify the form, you're limiting the options to only those your mind can imagine. Step 5. Inclusions of the greater good. Every effective prayer includes an intention that the outcome benefits not only you, but all the people involved. Florence always added, in a way that serves the highest good of all involved, or in perfect harmony with the divine plan. This inclusion doesn't dilute your prayer. In fact, it strengthens it, because it aligns your individual intention with the universal intelligence that naturally seeks the good of all. Step 6. Optimize duration and frequency. Florence discovered that participatory prayers work best when they are more intense and less frequent, instead of quick and constant. She recommended praying intensely for 10-15 minutes once a day, instead of quick prayers multiple times. The intensity and depth of alignment matter more than mechanical repetition. Eleanor prayed for 15 minutes every morning, completely entering the state of gratitude for perfect health. Richard dedicated 12 minutes every night to aligning himself with business prosperity. Step 7. Active recognition of response signs. After praying participatorily, you must be attentive to the signs that the universe is responding. Intuitive guidance, synchronicities, unexpected opportunities. Florence taught that ignoring these signs is like placing an order and then refusing to receive the delivery. Many people pray for solutions, but fail to recognize when solutions begin to appear in unexpected ways. Eleanor began receiving guidance on dietary changes, breathing exercises, and even specific people she should seek out. Following this guidance, she was connected with the specialist who healed her. Step 8. Maintaining the vibrational state. Throughout the day, whenever you remember your prayer, briefly return to the state of gratitude you cultivated during the formal prayer. This doesn't mean praying constantly. It simply means remembering the feeling of gratitude for a few seconds whenever the subject comes to mind. Florence called these vibrational anchors, brief moments during the day that keep you aligned with the energy of your prayer. Step 9. Inspired action. When guided. When you receive clear guidance on actions you should take, act even if it doesn't make complete logical sense. Participatory prayer works through a partnership between you and universal intelligence. Your part is to pray, align yourself, and act when guided. The universe's part is to organize circumstances, people, and opportunities. Richard received guidance to contact a former supplier for no apparent logical reason. Following the guidance, he discovered the opportunity that saved his business. Florence tested this 9-step protocol with hundreds of clients over decades. The results were consistent. People who followed all the steps had their prayers answered in ways that often surpassed what they had originally requested. But Florence also documented specific patterns of how the hidden law of prayer operates in practice. Pattern 1. Reorganization before manifestation. Frequently, before your prayers are visibly answered, you go through a period where things seem to become disorganized or more complicated. Florence explained that this happens because the universe is reorganizing people, circumstances, and opportunities to create the perfect manifestation. It's like renovating a house. It gets messy before it gets better. Eleanor went through 2 weeks where her lung condition seemed to worsen before it began to improve dramatically. Richard faced some additional financial challenges before finding the solution that transformed his business. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that this apparent disorganization is actually a positive sign that the prayer is working, not a sign of failure. It's a crucial shift in perspective. Pattern 2. Solutions through unexpected people. The hidden law of prayer often works by connecting you with people who have exactly the resources, knowledge, or opportunities you need. These connections rarely happen through the channels you'd expect. They usually come through coincidences, chance encounters, unexpected recommendations, or people you knew but had lost touch with. Eleanor was healed by a specialist she met in a casual conversation at the supermarket. Richard found his life-saving supplier through a phone call he almost didn't answer. Florence observed that when you engage in participatory prayer, you become a magnet for the right people at the right time. Pattern 3. Solutions that transform, not just solve. Participatory prayers tend to yield results that not only solve the specific problem, but also positively transform related areas of your life. Eleanor wasn't just cured of her lung condition. She developed an overall vitality she'd never experienced before and discovered a passion for helping others with similar health issues. Richard didn't just save his business. He became a more intuitive and prosperous entrepreneur, creating a company that served the community in ways he'd never imagined. Florence called these universal bonuses, additional benefits that come when you genuinely align with creative intelligence. Pattern 4. Perfect divine timing. Participatory prayers are answered at the moment that serves the greater good of everyone involved, not necessarily when you'd like. Sometimes this means the answer comes faster than you expected. Other times it takes longer because the universe is preparing a more complete and beneficial solution. Florence taught that trusting divine timing is an essential part of participatory prayer. Impatience interferes with the process because it indicates a lack of trust in superior intelligence. Let me share a third case that illustrates all these patterns working together. In 1929, a woman named Sarah sought out Florence in a situation that seemed completely hopeless. Sarah had lost her husband in an accident, was raising 3 young children alone, and was about to lose her home because she couldn't afford the mortgage. Sarah had prayed desperately for months. "Please, God, save me from this terrible situation. Don't let my children become homeless." Florence identified that Sarah was praying from a place of despair and victimhood. Her prayer reinforced the very energy of powerlessness and despair that was perpetuating her situation. Florence applied the complete participatory prayer protocol with Sarah. First, Sarah needed to purify her intention. Instead of wanting to be saved, she learned to want to prosper so she could create a loving and secure home for her children. Second, Sarah practiced for a week feeling genuinely prosperous and capable before beginning formal prayers. This was initially difficult but crucial for success. Third, Sarah learned to pray. "Thank you for the abundance and opportunities that are flowing into my life now. I am grateful for feeling capable, prosperous, and creating a wonderful home for my children. I celebrate the perfect solutions that serve the good of us all." Fourth, Sarah prayed for 15 minutes every morning, completely entering a state of gratitude and capability. Fifth, Sarah paid attention to the intuitive guidance that began to appear. The first guidances seemed odd. Sarah felt compelled to return to baking the cakes she made when she was single, something she hadn't done in years. She also felt she should talk to specific neighbors about their culinary specialties. Following this guidance, Sarah discovered that several neighbors had skills complementary to hers. Together, they created a small home catering business that quickly became highly sought after in the area. In 6 months, Sarah not only saved her home but was earning more money than when she was married. More importantly, she had transformed from a desperate widow into a confident and prosperous businesswoman. The business continued to grow and became a women's cooperative that helped other mothers in similar situations. Sarah told Florence, "I wasn't just saved from my situation. I became someone who saves other people from similar situations." This case perfectly illustrates how the hidden law of prayer works. When you genuinely align with what you're asking for, the universe not only solves your specific problem, but transforms you into a version of yourself who naturally creates and maintains what you desire. Florence observed that people who mastered participatory prayer developed a specific quality. They became inspired problem solvers of their own problems, and often the problems of other people as well. The difference between traditional prayer and participatory prayer is fundamental. Traditional prayer, "Please, solve my problem." Participatory prayer, "Thank you for me becoming someone who co-creates harmonious solutions." Traditional prayer, "Give me what I need." Participatory prayer, "I am grateful for aligning with the abundance that already exists." Traditional prayer, "Change my situation." Participatory prayer, "I celebrate my transformation into someone who naturally creates positive situations." The difference in results is equally dramatic. Traditional prayer may work occasionally, usually producing temporary solutions. Participatory prayer works consistently, producing permanent transformations. Florence always emphasized that the hidden law is not about getting an external power to do things for you. It's about consciously aligning yourself with the creative intelligence of which you are a part, so that intelligence can work through you. When you truly understand this law, you realize that you were never separate from the source of abundance, love, health, or anything else you desire. You are simply out of alignment with your own abundant and creative nature. Participatory prayer is the method for consciously realigning yourself. And when you realign, your external reality has no choice but to reflect this new internal condition. Florence left this transformative legacy. Her prayers were always answered. You just didn't know how to align with the answers. When you learn to pray as a conscious co-creator, you discover that the universe has always been your partner, never your judge. And perhaps this is the most profound truth Florence Scovel Shinn revealed. You don't need to convince the universe that you deserve to have your prayers answered. You simply need to remember that you are an expression of the same creative intelligence that governs the entire cosmos, and consciously align yourself with that truth through every prayer. The hidden law of prayer is unveiled. The method is available. The results have been tested by thousands of people over nearly a century. The only question that remains is, are you ready to discover the unlimited power that has always been available through conscious, participatory prayer? It's a power waiting to be tapped into, a wellspring of possibility, ready to be unleashed in your life. Imagine the doors opening, the abundance flowing, the synchronicities aligning, all because you've learned to tune your inner radio to the frequency of divine intelligence. This isn't about wishful thinking. It's about aligning your energy with the creative force of the universe. It's about understanding the profound connection between your thoughts, your feelings, and the manifestation of your desires. This is the key, the secret, the unlocking mechanism. It's about embracing your inherent worthiness, not begging for it. It's about remembering your divine nature and letting that truth guide your prayers. It's about shifting from a place of lack and despair to one of confidence and gratitude. This is the path to effective prayer, to experiencing the transformative power of the hidden law of prayer. Are you ready to embark on this journey of spiritual growth and manifestation? Are you ready to unlock your own unlimited potential? This is your invitation, your opportunity. Embrace it and witness the transformative power of your own aligned prayers. Let the universe conspire in your favor and watch your deepest desires unfold.